So in this session we're going to be looking at turns and changes of direction. So after a warm-up, that should include movements to raise your heart rate, some ball work to build up your touch and get comfortable on the ball, and some stretches to reduce the risk of injury. We'll cover the warm-up elements in a different video, so if you want to take a look at what you can do in the warm-up, then go ahead and have a look at our warm-up video. But today we're going to be doing turns. I'm going to be breaking down 8 turns into 3 levels. So level 1 being the easier level through to level 3, which is the harder level. So depending on your age and ability, then start off with level 1, and then if you can master those ones, then move on to level 2 and level 3. So in this level, in level 1, we're going to be looking at the inside hook turn, the outside hook turn, and the stop turn. So let's start off with the inside hook turn. Okay, so the first one is the inside hook. So we're using this part of the foot just to hook the ball round. So as we dribble, we're going to pretend to strike the ball, hook the ball round with the inside part of your foot. Hook it round with the inside part of your foot. Okay, so the inside hook is where you're going up to the ball and you're hooking the ball with the inside part of your foot. So again, I'll show you with the left. So the ball's slightly on the outside of your body to give space for you to hook it back. Inside hook. Are you ready? 5 times. Ready? Go. So the important thing with this particular turn is to see if you can turn with 1 touch. That will help with efficiency and the speed of the actual turn. And so you can see as soon as Essien gets that 1 touch, he's then trying to sprint and create some space and speed straight after that 1 touch turn.
2 more. 4.
Outside hook. So now we're hooking the ball round with the outside part of your foot. So again, pretend to strike the ball and then hook round with the outside part of your foot. The ball's on the outside of your body, so your foot comes around the front. So you're kicking through this gap, through the front of the ball, hooking it back round that way. So I'll show you with the left. So your non-kicking foot goes beside the ball, kick through the gap. Outside. So why should we practice these turns? Well, imagine a mechanic with just 1 tool. He's going to be very limited in terms of what he can fix on an engine in comparison to a mechanic with lots of different tools.
Keep going.
And it's the same as for football players. If you only have 1 skill, you're going to be very limited in terms of what you can do in a football match and your performance. You're also going to be quite predictable for the opposition compared to a player who has different skills in his toolbox and what he's going to be able to do and his performance level throughout a match. And when we talk about skills, in this session it's about turns. But it could be dribble moves, it could be your range of passing, it could be your quality of tackling, it could be winning the ball, your range of shooting, it could be your fitness, your speed, your agility. It could be a whole range of different skills.
And again, a little bit quicker.
Also, with all these turns, you don't necessarily need to do every single turn or every skill in one match. It just depends on the situation. But if you have the ability to do these, it doesn't matter what situation comes up, you can resolve it. So it could be a 1v1, a 1v2, sending that through ball, that lofted pass, that backspin pass, the side spin pass. It could be creating space. Next one is the stop turn. So as you dribble, you're going to stop the ball, here, step over, and then turn back. Stop, step over, stop turn. So this is the one where you're going up to the ball, you're stopping the ball, you're stepping over, and you turn back. So with this one, again, trying to turn as quickly as you can. But obviously, depending on your age, will also depend on your ability on how quickly you can turn. So here we can see TJ, who's just turned 6 years old.
3.
He's focusing more on the technique.
4.
And making sure that the technique is correct. And then as you get older, as you get quicker and you get stronger,
5.
then you're aiming to try and speed up that turn and speed up that change of direction.
Good, well done.
So now if we see Essien perform, Essien who's a little bit older, he's 9 years old, you can see he's got the technique already. So he's now more about trying to work on the speed and the change of direction. Sometimes it's not necessarily the actual skill or the turn which creates space. Sometimes it's just that ability to change direction quickly.
All the way to the end. Good job.
Okay, so now we're moving up to level 2. And in level 2,
well
we're
done,
going to be covering the drag back turn,
Man is, make sure you turn around so
the
you can see
Cruyff
the board
turn,
all the time.
and then the knee turn. So again, still working on technique at the
Yeah,
younger age
Casey.
groups, and then once you've got the technique, then you're trying to speed up each technique
Yeah.
and trying to make sure that you're changing direction as quick as you can.
Okay, the next one is the drag back turn. So as you dribble here, pretend to strike the ball, drag the ball back to there. So dribble, drag the ball back in the other direction. The next one, the drag back. So pretend to strike the ball, foot goes on top of the ball, drag the ball back. Again, I'll show you with the left, as if you're going to strike the ball, foot on top of the ball, drag the ball back.
So with this particular turn, it's normally done when you're also trying to protect the ball. So it might be a defender trying to chase you down, and you're trying to change direction and protect you.
Good.
So always try and keep the ball in front of you. Keep the ball in a position where you can see it all the time.
Good, well done. Nice and quick. That's it. Okay, so the Cruyff turn, this one, as if you're going to strike the ball and then turn it through your legs in the other direction. Turn it through your legs. Okay, so the Cruyff turn, you put your non-kicking foot beside the ball, as if you're going to strike the ball with your laces. Instead of striking the ball, your foot goes over top, point your toe down, push it through your legs.
So here we see Kees and Manis practicing the Cruyff turn, made famous by the famous Dutch player Johan Cruyff. He used to use this one as he dribbled down the wing, pretended to cross the ball, and then turn in to create a little bit more space and time. So again, with all of these terms, the aim is to try and pull off the right technique. But again, the main thing is that once you've pulled off the right technique, how quickly can you turn? How quickly can you create space?
Good, 2 more. Good, last one. Well done, all the way to the end. Good. Essien, are you ready? Nice and quick, ready? Go. Nice, well done. Good. 2 more. Last one, make it look like you're going to strike the ball. Good, and back all the way to the end. Good job. Okay, so the next one is going to be the knee turn. So as you dribble here, stop it with your knee, turn, and dribble back. Knee, turn, knee, turn. Okay, the knee turn is a cheeky little turn. Literally as you're dribbling, you're just going to stop the ball with your knee. The important one of this one is your non-kicking foot just going in front of the ball, so that you get your body and your knee over top of the ball, and then turn.
Again, if you master these turns, it's not necessarily that you use them in every single match, but also if you master especially the harder turns and the harder skills, it's going to help with your coordination, it's going to help with your balance, your first touch, your dribbling, your passing, your shooting. So, not just for using them in a match, but it's also going to be helping other areas, key skills in your game.
Good. 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 Last one. Good, well done.
Okay, so moving up to level 3, this is where we're going to be covering the fake pass, where you're attempting to look as if you're going to pass the ball with the instep of your foot, and then you change direction very quickly and try and create some space and time for yourself. And then the fake Rabona, so the fake Rabona, which is a trick kick, it's as if you're going to do a fake one of those, and again changing direction and create space.
And then we've got the fake pass. So this one is if you're going to pass the ball, turn and back. Again, as if you're going to pass the ball, turn and back. So this one again, as you go up to the ball, instead of striking the ball and passing the ball on the inside of the ball, you're going to roll your foot over top, and do almost like the outside hook. So you go up to the ball, over top, and push back. Fake pass. So as if you're going to pass the ball by hitting the middle of the ball instead of the middle. You're going to roll your foot over top of the top and stop it with the outside of your foot.
So here's a slow motion of the same skill, the fake pass. The idea of this one is that you're trying to create movement on the ball. So for those coaches or defenders who go by the philosophy of watch the ball and not the player's feet, this is trying to create that little bit of movement on the ball just to try and put off the defender. And then if they are watching the ball, they see the ball move, and then suddenly you change direction.
Good. Okay, next one, the fake Rabona. So as you dribble now, turn to do the Rabona kick and turn out. So this one, if we break it down, the ball goes on the outside of your leg here, then the other foot, as if you're going to kick the ball this way, it goes over top of the ball, twist and pull it out. You put your non-kicking foot, so the ball is on the outside of your foot, as if you're going to do a Rabona kick. So that kick there, instead of kicking it, your foot goes over top of the ball, you twist.
So this is the final turn of the session. So have fun, practice as much as you can. One thing I would say is there's nothing more frustrating for the coaches, for the fans and for the teammates as if a player attempts to do one of these skills and they don't pull it off. So you make sure that you practice, master them to the point where you can do it 99 times out of 100 and pull it off in pressurised situations.